From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are covering at this hour. Employees across the massive U.S. Health and Human Services Department began receiving notices of dismissal on Tuesday in an overhaul ultimately expected to lay off up to 10,000 people. The notices came just days after President Donald Trump moved to strip workers of their collective bargaining rights at HHS and other agencies throughout the government. At the National Institutes of Health, the world's leading health and medical agency, the layoffs occurred as its new director, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, began his first day of work. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced plans last week to remake the department, which, through its agencies, is responsible for tracking health trends and disease outbreaks, conducting and funding medical research, and monitoring the safety of food and medicine, as well as for administering health insurance programs for nearly half of the country. The plan would consolidate agencies that oversee billions of dollars for addiction services and community health centers under a new office called the Administration for a Healthy America. The layoffs are expected to shrink HHS to 62,000 positions, topping off nearly a quarter of its staff, 10,000 jobs through layoffs, and another 10,000 workers who took early retirement and voluntary separation officers. Two lines with hundreds of employees wrapped around the HHS headquarters building on Tuesday. Workers waited in the chilly spring weather to be individually scanned in for access to the building. Some said they were waiting to find out if they still had jobs. Others gathered at local coffee shops and lunch spots after being turned away, finding out they had been eliminated after decades of service. In case you were wondering, the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution is apparently no longer a thing. A Cornell University student facing deportation after his visa was revoked because of his campus activism said he decided to leave the United States. Momodou Taal, a citizen of the United Kingdom and Gambia, had asked a federal court to halt his detention, but he posted on X late Monday that he didn't believe a legal ruling in his favor would guarantee his safety or ability to speak out. "I have lost faith I could walk the streets without being abducted," Momodou Taal wrote from an unknown location. "Weighing up these options, I took the decision to leave on my own terms." The government says it revoked Taal's student visa in March because of his involvement in disruptive protests, as well as for disregarding university policies and creating a hostile environment for Jewish students. The Trump administration has attempted to remove non-citizens from the country for participating in campus protests that it deems anti-Semitic and sympathetic to the militant Palestinian group Hamas. Students say the government is targeting them for advocating for Palestinian rights. Taal, a 31-year-old doctoral student in Africana Studies at the Ivy League School in Ithaca, New York, was suspended last fall after a group of pro-Palestinian activists disrupted a campus career fair. He had been continuing his studies remotely this semester. Taal filed a federal lawsuit against the Trump administration, citing his right to free speech. The lawsuit was withdrawn on Monday. In his post, Taal didn't say where he was writing from or where he intended to live next. He didn't immediately respond to a text seeking comment. "Everything I have tried to do has been in service of affirming the humanity of the Palestinian people, a struggle that will leave a lasting mark on me," Taal wrote. His attorney, Eric Lee, didn't immediately respond to a message seeking comment, but Lee did post on X, "What is America if people like Momodou are not welcome here?" Attorney Lee, the pessimistic answer is America is now a dictatorship. "We live in a third world regime run by an oligarchy who have shredded the Constitution and use it as toilet paper." The much more pessimistic answer is that Hitler 2.0 on steroids, aka Donald Trump, in the first 70 days of his administration has pushed the United States from 1932 Nazi Germany to 1937. With each passing day and attack on civil rights, his nonsensical expression, "Make America Great Again," is utterly laughable. This is not an April Fool's joke. We have become the laughingstock and pity point for the rest of the world. Download the Live 365 app to take PEP Radio with you wherever you go. That's the news at this hour. Now back to more music on PEP Radio.